try it all you want, but when you stop at the intersection of classic hip-hop and culinary arts, you find FoodDope, the legendary podcast that personifies the culture through conversations with hip-hop influence, executive chefs, restaurateurs, and food influencers.
Throwing up flat like a ref, whipping up bricks like a chef.
Welcome to another edition of FoodDope, the podcast. This is your host, Nathan T. Rito, aka the Professor, the curator of culinary dopeness. And today I have a very special edition, very special guest with me today. A guy that I consider like a brother to me, and we're gonna get to the story in a second. But I'm in Metropolitan. I'm in the Houston area, so I had to come do some shows down here this week. And I'm sitting here at Mimi's New Orleans Creole Cafe with the Chef Charles Forman. What's up, Charles?
How you doing, Professor? How you doing?
You can move the mic closer to you a little bit.
All right. I'm blessed this morning to be here with you. Thanks for having me on your show.
No problem, man. You looking good. It's been years and years.
It's been a long time
since I saw you, man. But you still look the same. But we both some old cats now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I had to come pay you a visit. Actually, we had this plan since early November. We booked our tickets, but I wasn't gonna tell anybody yet. I wanted to plan some more things, and you know, you had the issue here last week with the weather in Houston and going on. So, man, I'm glad you got back in touch with me, invited me out, man, and I'm here today, and I want to do a dope interview. So let's get it popping.
Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. Now, Charles, let's talk about the restaurant, Mimi's New Orleans Cafe. What's your main clientele that comes in, and what cuisine do you serve, and how do they feel about the cuisine?
Okay, our main clientele is hungry people.
Hungry people?
Yes, but we get people that look like us. We get all types, but mostly our own people come in. They like the fact that we're a scratch kitchen.
Okay.
Everything's homemade. Everything's fresh. We use the freshest ingredients.
Yeah.
And we make everything from scratch.
That's what's up.
You know, the name Mimi is for my wife.
Okay.
Her name is Michelle, but all our grandkids call her Mimi.
Mimi.
So we had to name something that can keep going for generations.
Gotcha.
So, but everybody loves us here.
Good. And I know you've been here. How long have you been in the Houston area?
We moved here last June, and we opened up July 17th in the middle of a pandemic.
Okay.
So that's a whole nother story in itself.
I know that was a challenge. And what caused the move from? Where'd you move the restaurant from first of all?
We moved our restaurant from Houma, Louisiana.
Houma, right outside of New Orleans.
Yes.
Okay.
It's about 45 minutes outside of New Orleans. I know you're familiar with the area.
Yeah.
Down the bayou.
Yeah.
And so we've been open. We opened up 6 years ago. And so when the pandemic hit, we had to go down to takeout only. And so we decided to quarantine ourselves. We quarantined for 3 months. And so our oldest son's been living here in Sugar Land for 13 years.
Okay.
So my wife and I decided to come visit the grandkids. So his church is nearby in his facility, so we saw the place empty. So we prayed on it, and God said move.
Right.
So we were obedient to his word, and we moved in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
People thought we were crazy for doing so, but when you believe in God, people think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because you do amazing things.
Yeah.
And they think it's crazy, but we think it's amazing.
That's right.
So that's why we moved, and it wasn't a challenge for us at all. Because there are restaurants that are closing down.
Right.
And here we are, we opened up.
Right.
And so we've been thriving. God's good.
Total blessing.
Yes.
Total blessing. Now, like I said, I was going to get into the story. You know, growing up, where we're from, as far as my family, we didn't move a lot, but we lived in 4 different cities.
Okay.
So when you and my older brother hooked up, I can honestly say out of all the cities we lived in, me and my brothers, we gravitated. We had friends from East. We connected all over. We got friends from all over. But I can honestly say, when you and my older brother hooked up, you're the only person that he brought home as a friend that I could actually consider my brother, because you looked out for me.
Yeah.
I was 14, I think, when we met. If I had problems going on at school, you wanted to know who did that.
Right.
So we shared a lot of the same experiences. We know a lot of the same people. My show is based on FoodDope is based on culinary arts and hip hop, so we have a lot of the same going back to our early days. And you guys was the first ones that introduced me to. We knew who the regular guys was, the LL or Run DMC, but y'all dudes running around New Orleans. y'all brought home what underground rap was to me.
Right.
And I've been hooked on it ever since.
Right, we brought home like Special Ed,
Yeah, yeah.
Audio 2.
Yeah, Audio 2,
you know,
exactly.
EPMD,
I can remember
nobody heard
Too
of
Short.
Right.
I remember my brother brought home the
Two
first
Live Crew.
MC Light album. You know what I'm saying? Y'all,
Yeah.
and y'all was older than me, so I was trying to run behind y'all. So I'm listening to what y'all listening to, trying to mimic y'all. So let's talk about what I like to talk about, because I still study. I'm a curator of classic hip hop, building the perfect rap record, hip hop record, different ingredients, different textures to it.
Yeah.
What makes the perfect plate, in your opinion, as a chef?
The perfect plate always have to start with passion.
Passion.
Then once you take that passion and you add your fresh ingredients, and then that all you need is the plate,
Right.
the canvas. When you have ingredients and the passion, see, your passion will lead you to study food.
Right.
And see, I studied an old chef. His name was Augusto Escoffier.
Okay.
You know, so a lot of people pay tuition, they go to culinary school, but some people pay attention, you know, because more is taught than taught. So Augusto Escoffier, his philosophy was you follow the food.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a freestyle.
Ah.
Some of the finest rap songs in hip hop
Yeah.
come from a freestyle. It was on the block. Nobody was writing.
Right.
Everybody was just waiting their turn to get in.
To get in.
So once
Yeah.
you get in that kitchen, you just start freestyling.
Right.
And then you go from there.
And I think that's dope, because that's another reason why I wanted to do this show, because the technicality of everything, the precision of everything. Chefs have attitude. Chefs have their own style, their own flow, their own flavor. I'm like, I got to talk to them dudes. They're more interesting than rappers to me.
Right.
Because they stick to, for the most part, stick to what they believe in and that philosophy into their cooking.
Right.
So I had to do the show, man. So this is, I'm sitting here with Chef Charles Forman, and we are at Mimi's New Orleans Cafe in the Houston area. And this is your host, Nathan T. Rito, aka the Professor. Now, Charles, let's talk about like life experiences. You know, people have different reasons or motivation for pursuing culinary arts. Like, what's yours, your motivation? Because I knew early on in your family, you know, you and my brother started, you know, you were in food service back then.
Algiers landed.
Yeah, Algiers landed, and I mean, you're still doing it. Here we are today, man. So, what was your motivation for pursuing culinary arts?
My motivation was security. Because when you know how to cook, when you're a chef, you can go anywhere in the world and get a job.
Yeah.
You know, because
Right.
and it also opens the doors for a lot. I've had the pleasure of cooking for a lot of unique people, a lot of important people in my career. So what drove me to do it was because it was the unknown that I wanted to know.
Right.
You know, how are these guys doing this?
Yeah.
You know, so you could take something basic like meatloaf, but I didn't want just to learn the basic. I wanted to learn to be extravagant.
Okay.
Like I have my style of cooking, I call it comfort food, sex appeal. Because you could just slap something on the plate and it'll be good.
Yeah.
Mama wasn't worrying about presentation. Grandmama wasn't
Right.
worrying about presentation.
Right.
You know, it's just like when you put it on wax, you got to make sure it's good. That's why a lot of people do a different take.
Yeah.
You know, to see what's good.
Yeah.
So, but once you put it in the pot, a chef, you can recreate what you set out to do. It's different from being a baker.
Right.
Baking has formulas. Once
Okay.
you put it in the oven, you can't pull it out halfway through the process and say I have to add more yeast.
Yeah.
It'll mess it up.
Yeah.
So, but when you're cooking, you tasting each ingredient, so you adding your flavor to it. You know.
Wow. Never thought about it like that. So it's sort of a pseudo-scientist.
Yes.
In a way. I got you.
It's like a kata in martial arts. For every action, there's a reaction.
It's a reaction. Yeah.
So you taste something, you
Yeah.
add something, then you create your own.
Dope. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, at what age did you realize that, and that seriously this would be a career path for you? What age were you when you realized that? Because we all cook as a youngster. I cooked, but I never tried to make culinary arts serious. But I think the last 15 years I sort of fell in love with the Food Network, so I just watch all that stuff, man. So what age did you realize that this is it?
This is it. I was 24 years old. I was living in Seattle, Washington. And I was working for the Washington Athletic Club.
Okay.
And I was the youngest person in management and the first black person in management.
Wow.
And I ran a 16-room banquet operation. That's when I realized that I can make good money, I can make some divine connections, and I
Right.
can continue to create.
Yeah.
So when you're working for big corporations and they have deep pockets, you can create. So I experiment with a lot of different foods. And
Yeah.
the Pike Place Market was a couple blocks away.
Okay.
So it allowed me to go pick out something I never even heard of.
World famous Pike Place Market, right?
Pick up the book, go there, throw the fish.
Uh-huh.
So when I pick up a book and I see something that I picked up at the Pike Place Market, and then I learned.
Yeah.
So I was furthering my education.
Okay.
And then so from there, that company sent me to the culinary school and the business management school. So I realized that, hey, people care about chefs.
Yeah.
The chef is important.
I gotta dap you up on that. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
I like
So-
that. And you put the passion into it, so they saw you had it. So they put that into you as well.
And it was an investment for them as well, too.
Right.
So-
Man, that's dope. Yeah. Now, growing up, first thing I ever cooked, I remember, it was terrible, man. You know, canned salmon. Open up a can of salmon,
Yeah.
put it in the thing, just throw some cayenne pepper on. That's probably when I did something like that. It was terrible, I know. I didn't even know how to make pot of rice back then. What was the first, when you first got the autonomy to cook something, you first had the first ingredients in your hand. What was it? Do you remember what you created, and how was it?
The first thing I created or the first thing I cooked? That's a difference.
Yeah.
I put some fried chicken in a brown bag of flour and fried that chicken.
How about one time I fried chicken? I didn't know you had it. You know, it was flour or whatever. I just took salt. I rolled it in salt and fried it, man. That was, of course, it was disgusting.
Yeah, but you can do that now if you do it right. They just call it naked fried chicken.
Naked fried chicken.
Yeah, you don't put any flour on it. A lot of people might be gluten.
Yeah.
You can create, but the first thing I made that I was very impressed with, and it's still my favorite thing to make today, and my favorite thing to eat, is gumbo.
Ah, okay.
And I love making gumbo because gumbo has a lot of different ingredients in it.
Yeah.
It has the Trinity in it. And for y'all that don't know, Trinity is onions, bell pepper, celery.
Yes, sir.
You know, we put that in everything. If you're from South Louisiana,
Yeah.
Trinity is the staple.
Trinity, yeah.
So then you can add different things to the gumbo. You can make chicken and sausage gumbo. You can make seafood gumbo. You can make a combination gumbo.
Yeah.
The first one I made, I had chicken gizzards in there, chicken necks, crab, shrimp. And so when I made it right and my family tasted it, and I had my grandmother and my auntie saying, every gathering you making a gumbo.
Yeah.
So something to be said when there's old black women complimenting you on your gumbo.
Exactly.
So that was one of the first things I made, and so that's my go-to.
Yeah. That's something right there. And it took me 46 years probably before I finally learned how to make gumbo. And I finally made a good one because I've been inconsistent with my, roux is
You
the
gotta
thing.
take time with that roux.
Yeah, and I just know I always rush it. But man, about 6 months ago, took my time, sat there and stirred my roux maybe 45 minutes, man, just slow and low. And that was probably, it took me 47 years to finally learn how to make a gumbo. Still ain't on my mama level, but how many of us,
You were never gonna get on that level.
Man, and speaking of that, this early 2000, had to be 1992. Me and my brother were driving up from, and I asked him this a couple of weeks ago. We were driving from Atlanta up to New Jersey when he was in New Jersey, and we stopped in the DC area, and your parents, to see your parents and everything, man. And I told my brother 2 weeks ago, man, Charles' mom made the best fried chicken I ever had in my life, and I still remember that to this day.
You were just hungry. No, her fried chicken is good. Steven and I had the same conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to my brother Juan in Maryland.
Yes.
What up, bro? What up? Now, cooking and culinary design is an art form, and you mentioned a notable name earlier. Other than that, who are your favorite artists in culinary design?
In the culinary design, a guy, Will McNamara, I call him my mentor.
Okay.
And so he taught me so much. He taught me not only to cook, he taught me the business side of it. And so the numbers, because there's a flip side to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Passion is not going to get you money unless you're a pro athlete.
Right,
You know what I mean? So, and restaurants are a dime a dozen, but Will McNamara, he taught me a lot.
Okay.
When you're cooking and you follow the food, it's easy to take a shortcut. But you can attribute cooking to anything in life, to be a better person.
Okay.
Because it's easy for me not to use something because I know you're not going to know if it's not in there.
Right.
But why do that? Because I know.
Yeah.
So you have to be passionate. You have to put out the best plate possible every day because people eat with their eyes. And when they walking through our restaurant, I want you to be like, I want that.
Right.
I want that. Ooh, what's that? When
Right.
you see when it's set down in front of you, you're like, ooh, what's that? So the passion to be great every day. And it's also a challenge to be great every day because some days you don't have what you need because of supply and demand. And so I choose to just take it off the menu for that day.
And that's one of the questions I had for you. What are the challenges of being a restaurateur, and the flip side of that, I'm not gonna say advantages, the rewards of that. And you just mentioned part of that. You have any more challenges that you face? Because we went to an event last night where a lot of chefs and people were speaking on different things in the industry. What do you feel is challenges, and on the other side, very rewarding as a restaurateur?
Well, the challenges are trying to please everybody. It's never going to happen.
Okay.
The challenge of trying to please everybody, and it's also challenging to accept the criticism that you face.
Okay.
You know, when somebody don't like something,
Yeah.
you can't change. If you don't like it, you just don't like it.
Right.
But some people go above and beyond why they don't like it. They want to be, we're trying to support you because we're trying to support, you know.
Yeah.
But the reward is the ones that you do please.
Yeah.
And the ones that come back.
Yeah.
And then, see, with us, we pride ourselves on, we come out and interact with the customers.
Okay.
Because we stand on our product.
Right.
And you'll see my face. A lot of places we go to,
Yeah.
we patron, we don't even know who owns the place.
Right.
We want you to know who owns. My wife's on the wall up there.
Yeah.
We want you to know this is who we are.
Yeah.
And we don't have customers.
Yeah.
We have new family members. Because I believe every satisfied customer is a part of my new marketing team.
Right.
And when they leave here, they go to work for me. So consciously, without knowing, they go to work for me.
Right.
Because this thing right here is cheaper than a billboard
Yeah.
or social media.
Right.
So the
Right.
challenges are pleasing everybody, and the reward is reaching those ones and I please when they come back. And they tell people.
Okay. This is Nathan Rito, and this is FoodDope. Sitting here with Chef Charles at Mimi's Cafe and Oyster Bar.
Mimi's New Orleans Cafe
Mimi's
and
New Orleans
Oyster Bar.
Cafe and Oyster Bar in the Metro Houston area. And let me ask you, because we speak about this a lot, and I take, for instance, I have no problem going out and spending money with. In 8 years, I'm nervous, man. 8 years, this is the first time my wife has ever been around me working.
Okay.
In 8 years, out of all the projects I've done. She's choking me up right now. All right, but when we going out, I have no problem spending money on the whole experience of dining out, and that includes service. How important is service? And a lot of people don't get it, that it's really it's a gift of a person that want to serve. It's not just collecting a check. How important do you feel service?
Service is key.
Yeah.
Because that's what you get before you get the food. You know, if the service is bad, you're gonna walk out before, you know, that's the first impression.
Yeah.
When you walk through the door, the first person you see is our hostess.
Yeah.
So whoever's standing there.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't have a smile on her face, you're like, you start wondering what kind of operation is this.
Yeah.
You know, because if she's not happy working here, maybe I won't be happy with the product.
Right.
You know, so and once it's a trickle effect.
Yeah.
If you walk through the door and she's smiling and she's happy,
Yeah.
you know, they're okay, they're bubbly.
Yeah.
Because that also shows that you're confident. Because a somber employee is sometimes an indicator that the product's not good, and they continually to hear from the guests. You know what I mean?
Right,
and so
right, yeah.
they carry that burden as well. Like,
Yeah.
man, this isn't good. And they're like, well, I don't cook it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the cook. I just serve it. So, but you have to have a passion. You have to have patience.
Yeah. All right. Man, I need my reading glasses. Where my glasses at?
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I hope I don't have to read anything. 'Cause you got to, Nicholas is gonna have to hold it. So I have to read.
Let's talk about let's go over the menu of Mimi's. Let's go over the menu and the overall vibe of the restaurant, and just let people know. Tell people what Mimi's is offering, and if you want to close us out from there, you can take it there.
Okay. Our menu, we specialize in food. We specialize in everything. We don't have a favorite thing on the menu. Everybody loves everything.
Yeah.
We have a variety of char-grilled oysters. A lot of places just have one. They just put cheese and garlic butter.
Yeah.
We have one we call the loaded Mimi.
Okay.
It's a char-grilled oyster with green onions, bacon, and 2 different types of cheese.
Ah.
It's like the loaded baked potato without the sour cream.
Yeah.
So it's called the loaded Mimi.
Okay.
Then we have the Mimi Fella oyster. That's a spin off the Rockefeller.
Mimi
The
Fella.
Rockefeller got the spinach dip on it, but we make a house-made spinach and artichoke dip that we sell. Okay. With house-made chips. So like I say, it's Scratch Kitchen. Everything's made from scratch.
Yeah.
When you order stuff, we make it to order. We have the Bayou Blue oyster.
Okay.
That's with blue cheese and a little Parmesan cheese and bacon on that.
Okay.
So then we have our regular char-grilled oysters. We have crawfish achafalaya, catfish achafalaya. We have crawfish etouffee. We have shrimp creole. We have shrimp etouffee.
Okay.
We have red beans and rice.
Yeah.
We have Mimi's Southern Fried Chicken. We won best fried chicken in the southern region 3 years in a row. We run best red beans and rice 2 years in a row. And so we have kid-friendly menu.
Okay.
We allow creativity in our kitchen because we get a lot of gluten-free and highly allergenic people.
Okay.
So we allow some freedom with some things that we make. Our pastas, we have a bayou pasta. It has crawfish in it, crawfish tails, and penne pasta with a house-made cream sauce. And the sauce is made per order. We don't have sauce pre-made sitting around. We take the heavy cream, we take the seasoning and the garlic and saute it, a little butter, throw the cream in there, the cheese, and we make the sauce to order.
Okay.
So we have seafood gumbo, chicken and sausage gumbo. We have crab and corn bisque.
Okay.
And we make that to order.
Yeah.
You know, the gumbos we can't make to order, of course. There's certain things we can't make to order.
Right.
But everything else, we have our own crab cakes.
Yeah.
We don't put breadcrumbs in our crab cakes. We use blue crab claw meat and jumbo lump crab meat to make our crab cakes.
Okay.
And so, and that comes grilled or fried with a smoky chipotle aioli sauce on top with a bed of shredded lettuce. We have seafood platter.
Yeah.
We have catfish. We have Gulf shrimp. We have macaroni and cheese. We make our own cheese sauce. So a lot of places don't do that. We make our own cheese sauce. We put a couple different types of cheese in there.
Yeah.
We have cornbread dressing, which is my mother-in-law's recipe that we've been. It's fire. You know, we have people drove from Louisiana to buy pans of that cornbread dressing.
Cornbread dressing, right?
Yeah, my wife taught me how to make it. Our dessert menu has miniature pecan pies.
Yeah.
Peach cobbler.
That's what's up.
Bread pudding. My wife does all the baking. She won't dare let me bake.
Yeah.
I think I can bake better than her, but she won't let me bake at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean at all.
At all?
She won't even let me in the kitchen. She'll be like, just get out of my way. Every once in a while, she'll have me come in there and roll the dough. She's like, my arms are getting tired, and I roll the dough for her.
Yeah.
But we have po' boys. We get our bread from Leinheimer's. If anybody know a good po' boy in Louisiana, in New Orleans, it's only two bread companies, Leinheimer and Gambino.
Yeah.
And Leinheimer's been around a long time, and that's what most of the places use.
And you can smell them in the morning delivering that bread to the restaurants.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So we have shrimp po' boys, oyster po' boys, catfish po' boys, hot sausage po' boys, hamburger po' boys. We don't have buns in here. We have po' boys. And our hot sausage is made in Louisiana. There's a guy who makes it. You can't find it in any store, and so it's unique. We fly home to get this hot sausage. We fly back with hundreds of pounds on the plane.
I'm gonna get that hot sausage po' boy. That's what I'm thinking about while he talking.
And so we have that. And throughout the week, we're closed on Mondays.
Okay.
Throughout the week, we're open Tuesday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. On Fridays and Saturdays, we're open 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Those are COVID hours for right now.
Okay.
And so on Sundays, we offer a Sunday brunch, and that's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And we have chicken and waffles. We have shrimp and grits.
Okay.
Our grits, we fry the grits.
Fried grits.
We fry the grits, and we make a cream sauce with the shrimp, top it off with some garlic toast, the Parmesan cheese. Everybody, they've never had it like this before. So we make a grit cake, and we deep fry it.
Okay.
And it's amazing. Everything is amazing. There's chicken and waffles. We have traditional breakfast available on Sundays as well. But we allow ourselves we have weekly chef specials. Today is Friday, so we have the shrimp fettuccine on specials. On Tuesdays, we have fish taco. We make it's not like we're in Texas, but it's not Mexican.
Right.
We make our own house-made pico de gallo. We make our own guacamole. I think I said it before. We're a scratch-made kitchen. We make everything.
Yeah, everything. Huh?
You know, and our tacos are fried or grilled fish. Put a little shredded lettuce, the pico, the guacamole, and a little chipotle aioli on top. Home house-made Spanish rice. On Wednesdays, we have meatloaf or hamburger steak. We switch up. And we make that with garlic mash and green beans. On Thursdays, you get a choice of smothered chicken. Or smothered pork chop over rice with smothered cabbage. And so, in our sides we offer every day. We have mustard greens, cabbage, macaroni and cheese. We have cornbread dressing, red beans and rice, of course. And I also just throw stuff out there like yaki main. You know, we have one of the crowd favorites, crab stew. You know, we serve it in a black cast iron little tub. And I create stuff, like I might do like a little risotto, a little wild mushroom, a spinach risotto with a piece of grilled fish on top. I might do some pork bellies. We switch up whatever's fresh at the market.
Yeah.
My wife and I like to go drive out to Kima.
Okay.
And that's the coast here in Texas. Kima, that's where all the boats at.
Okay.
And we pick through the fresh seafood and stuff like that sometimes on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then just come back with something different and be creative.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of it. We have some guests that come in and they just call me to the table and just like make me whatever and charge me whatever.
Yeah, it is.
And that's a good relationship that we forge here.
That's it.
So we're located at 1833 Richmond Parkway, Suite 2100, Richmond, Texas, 77469.
That's right. This is Chef Charles, and I want to thank the matriarch, Michelle,
Mimi,
of Mimi's New Orleans Cafe and Oyster Bar.
Yes.
In Richmond, Texas. And I'm not going to keep you much longer, Chef, but I want to give a shout out to, like I said, to my brother for being cool with you, and you becoming like my older brother.
Yes.
And I had to come see you when I came down here, bro.
Man,
So I appreciate your time. And everybody watching this, the video is going to be on YouTube. Who's going to be listening to the audio on all the major podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeart, Google Play, all the major and all the minor ones. When you come to the Houston area, you got to look up Mimi's. You got to pay a visit. You won't be disappointed. So I'm going to try out some lunch in a little bit. And of course, I'll be reporting back on it, but I know I won't be disappointed. And this is Nathan T. Rito of FoodDope Podcast. And remember, you never underestimate the weight this culture carries unless you live the life. And I live the life. Peace.
Peace.
International Food Dope, brought to you by Urban Science Media, hosted by Nathan T. Rito, aka The Professor. Find us on all major podcast platforms. Follow us on IG at Food Dope Podcast and at The Professor 73. You'll never underestimate the weight this culture carries unless you live the life. And I live the life. We got history.